When it comes to debt, most of us dream of completely paying it off. However, that is often not the case. Looking at the debt that we have in the United States, it is $13.67 trillion. That is right, guys. That is an absolute staggering amount of debt that we have as a nation. Now, of that, however, mortgage alone is 71% of that. But how can you pay off debt? How can you get debt free? How can you hit that debt free or that financial freedom that we all long for and all dream about? Today's video, we're going to be looking at debt and how to eliminate it, how to get through it, and also going over some of the most common forms of debt, which of course, how can we pay it off faster and how can you eliminate it? Now, the most common types of debt we see, we have credit card, we have student loans, we have car debt, we have medical debt, we have personal debt, we have mortgage debt, we have home equity debt. There are a ton of different types of debt. And over there, looking at the first method is the debt snowball method. Now this, of course, Dave Ramsey is really one of the big proponents of this, really saying this is the best methodology to eliminate debt. And it does work. If you have a plan, if you stick to the debt repayment plan, it does work incredibly well. Now in the debt snowball, you take all of your debts, you make one giant big list, you take the balance, the one that has the absolute lowest balance. For instance, if you have a credit card that you owe $100 on, that is going to be the first one that you're going to pay off, eliminating that debt right off of the top. Now with that minimum payment, with every other debt that you have, you're going to make the minimum payment, not a penny more, not a penny less. The minimum payment is what you're going to make on that debt. Every single penny is going to go up systematically from the lowest balance to the next lowest, next lowest, next lowest, all the way down until the debt is eliminated. Now, some of the largest debt, of course, on the bottom is going to be auto loans, which can range $30, $40, $70, $100,000. Mortgages are going to be, again, some of the debt that is going to be on the lower level of this. Now, some of the easy ways to do this, spending less. That is right, guys. Fundamentally, it is much easier said than done. Spending less and seeing where you can really cut expenses is the big part because you really have two functionalities. Number one, you can spend less. Number two, you can make more money. That might mean getting a side job, getting a side hustle, looking for an additional way, picking up extra hours at work, things of that nature to eliminate the debt much faster. Now, to really spend less, there is a really easy way, guys. When you look at creating a budget, and of course, this is something we're going to talk about. When you start building a budget and when you have a budget, you can stick to it as closely as possible. You can adjust as needed, but there is something psychological. There's something fundamental when you write things on paper and you see an actual budget. This is the reason when you make lists, when you go to the grocery store, only sticking to and buying what things are on your list will keep you from the impulse buying. If you've seen the video, guys, impulse buying is roughly $2,000 per year that people are spending just on meaningless items when it looks like a candy bar when you get to checkout. That is why the items are there. When you see those coolers full of drinks, that exactly is the reason why you are there. Now, when you start spending a little bit less, that of course is going to free up a little bit of the income. You can move that income into that debt repayment, starting with that snowball method and knocking out the debt much faster. Once you start going through and making momentum on this, you're going to see just how big that snowball can get and how fast it can really bulldoze and knock over that debt and knock it down very fast. Now, sticking to a budget has saved Americans roughly $5,400, which is kind of crazy, guys. When you think of budgeting versus not budgeting in the course of 12 months is roughly $5,000 because you're not buying a lot of stuff that you need. Now, how else can you cut down on the expenses? Walking, biking to work, buying non-name brand products, which are usually quite a bit cheaper, bulk cooking your meals, cooking at home, packing your lunch, also looking at where you can save on cell phone, where you can save on insurance, cable providers, subscription services. There are a ton of ways to reduce your monthly expenses and really increasing your cash flow. That increase in cash flow can actually be able to and utilize for that debt repayment. Now, making more money, this again is another obvious one. So you have the money you bring home, you have the money you spend, whatever you have left at the end of the month is just that. What is left, again, for the savings, for the investment, for the debt repayment. Making more money could mean getting a new job, looking for a job that is closer to home that is paying more, but also looking again at side hustles. Now, a lot of people working from home, working, on a ton of things, even if you do a quick Google search, how to make money online, how to make money working from home, how to make easy money. There's a million different ways that you can split this, guys. 54% of Americans currently have a side hustle, just like I do here today with YouTube. Starting to build the channel, we're almost to 6,000 subscribers. So if you want to be debt-free, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join me on the journey, guys. We are getting there, and we are getting there with every single video that we post daily. So how long is it going to take to pay off your debt? This is really up to you. This, again, is one of the personal accountability pieces that you can take. The faster that you want to pay off the debt, the more adamant you are onto cutting your expenses to budgeting exactly what you want. That will speed up the debt process. So even if you know, hey, if I can work online, if I can do my side hustle, if I can do DoorDash, if I can do deliveries, and I make X amount of dollars, let's say $15, $20, $25 an hour, if you're taking that $25, that is excess income. Again, not putting it towards more expenses, but that is excess income that can go right into that debt repayment. As soon as you knock 2 or 3 of those minimum payments out, all of a sudden you're down to debt number 4. You have a ton of extra money you're making on the side, and the 3 payments that you've already eliminated all pushed onto that. And then again, the snowball just continues, guys. The more that you get into this, honestly, psychologically, it is something that you're going to want to do. And it's almost like a angry monster that feeds itself, and you want to eliminate the debt, and you want to do it faster. And you think of and come up with some really crafty ways to do things, ways that you can cut down on your food expenses, ways that you can eliminate some things out of your budget. It makes a big difference, guys. So what do you do when you're debt-free? So debt-free journey achieved. Go ahead and check that box. This is where you start saving money. This is where you start investing like you've never seen, like it's on fire, guys. Again, if you're thinking about things in your life, even larger purchases, things of that nature, being able to pay cash for them is literally a game-changing advantage. Even when you're looking at services, you know, when you get a patio, when you get a basement, when you do home improvements, there's a reason why people will give you discounts 5, 10, 15% for paying in cash, because cash is still king in that world, guys. Now, this comes also being debt-free, maxing out 401k contributions, putting money into IRAs, putting money into HSAs. Once you have your truly your most powerful tool that we have as working individuals is your paycheck, guys. That is really the trigger for everything. When you start doing this financial freedom journey, when you start getting debt free, if you're investing just like we are every Monday, guys, we are investing $1,000 every single Monday to see exactly how long we can keep this up. But you will see as we start snowballing it, as we get a couple weeks in, some of the compounding, some of the increase of the returns that we get out of the market, then we start throwing dividends on top of there. Then we start snowballing it into more and more. And the reason I can do this is being debt-free, guys. We have a couple years left in our mortgage, and we are completely 100% debt-free for my wife and I, which means that we can be completely debt-free as we continue our investment journey, getting ready for retirement, getting ready for my kids to go to college. A lot of things come with a big price tag, but as long as you're not throwing your money away, and literally that is what it is doing, guys. When you look at your bill, when you look at your statement, when you look at any financial tool that you have, look at the amount you're paying in interest. That is what you're throwing away, and really allocate and think, how many hours do I have to work? So in a monthly basis, if you're paying, let's say $400 in interest between a car, between a mortgage, between credit cards, everything else, how many hours do you have to work to pay that $400 in interest? Really makes you think about how much you're just throwing away of every single paycheck. That'll do it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and thank you guys for watching.